Well, tonight we're going through the book of Lamentations. And, I love Lamentations because this week Kevin and I had a chance to go on the street in the ABQ and interview some people and talk to them about Lamentations, the book of Lamentations. And it's an interesting book because it's a book of suffering. It's a funeral dirge, the funeral of Jerusalem. And it's a very sad event. And throughout the entire book, we see this lamenting over the fall of Jerusalem. But then in chapter 3, we see Jeremiah says, "Great is your faithfulness. Your mercies are new every morning." And what a beautiful picture of suffering and where God is in the midst of that.
Yeah, and it's 5 chapters long, and it's a pretty intense read if you look through it. But basically how it works out, and we'll talk more about it tonight, is it's an acrostic poem in Hebrew, and literally Jeremiah is weeping from A to Z for the city of Jerusalem. But I love that chapter that you're talking about, chapter 3, right there in the very middle, in the midst of all of this tragedy and suffering and pain and hardship. He says, "Great is your faithfulness. Your mercies are new every morning." And I don't know about you guys, but I need God's mercy every single morning when I wake up. And I love that they're new every day for us. So, and even we both work with students, high school, middle school, and we see the gamut of suffering, whether it's pain from divorce, whether it's just, friendship problems, school problems, family problems, could be anything. But we see it from a very young age. And of course, if it doesn't get taken care of then, it often results in really bad situations once they continue to get older.
One thing I think we saw when we were interviewing people is that it doesn't matter who you are, you've experienced pain. Whether you're 5 or 55, it doesn't matter what age you are or what area of life you're in. Everyone experiences pain, and it's painful to go through pain. But what a vast difference it is between someone who trusts in the Lord and someone who doesn't trust in the Lord.
Yeah, and we really saw that whole spectrum as we went out and interviewed people, asked them questions about how they dealt with pain, some of the things they've gone through. So we've got a video to show you, get some of those responses. Here we go.
Well, welcome to the Bible from 30,000 feet, and tonight we're studying the book of Lamentations, which is actually a book that is a funeral dirge for the city of Jerusalem. And throughout the book, Jeremiah weeps and laments over the fall of Jerusalem, but through the midst of it, he proclaims that the Lord is still faithful and good.
So, pretty intense topic to talk about at the zoo. As you can tell, we're here at the Rio Grande Zoo, but why don't we head inside and see what some people have to say?
Let's do it.
When you go through something painful or that causes suffering in your life, what's one way that you deal with that pain?
Well, basically, suffering has a purpose. It's how you grow. You don't grow without pain.
I probably would say a lot of prayers.
Talking it out.
Yeah.
Think about it before you make a decision. Think about it before you act on it.
Take a pill.
All right.
I just work more.
Yeah.
I drum.
Okay. You're a drummer, huh?
Yes.
I know what you're going to ask me. Jesus Christ.
Yeah?
That would be my answer.
Well, first of all, I have a little 4-year-old right there, and he's what makes my life. He's what made my life.
I'm actually a Christian, so God really helps me out with that and praying in my faith.
I rely heavily on my faith with Jesus Christ.
Cool. If you don't mind sharing, maybe a couple things that you've gone through in your life that have caused pain or suffering.
We've all done that. One, I was born basically with my right arm not working, so I've suffered that way.
Oh dear. Let's see. Quite a few things. Financial stuff is always a good one.
Yeah.
Yes, I lost my mother, and I lost my older brother, and I lost my niece and my nephew.
Wow.
Of course, with parents' divorce and all that good stuff,
Yeah.
That is pretty hard on kids and stuff.
I lost my mother 3 years ago, and that was very painful. Very, very painful.
I'm sure.
All kinds of stuff. Losing family members, breaking up with people, animals dying, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
I guess loss is probably the biggest thing, losing
family members, grandparents, siblings.
speaking of losing a family member and losing a loved one, the book of Lamentations talks about the death of Jerusalem and Jeremiah weeping over Jerusalem and lamenting over Jerusalem. What do you believe happens after you die?
You just live eternal life after death. So, I mean, God promises everybody eternal life, so that's what I believe in.
Well, that's a very philosophical question.
I believe in God. I think you're going to heaven. Gates are going to open for you.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure they're somewhere.
I believe that when we die, we go straight to heaven. We meet our Creator first before we are sent out to a different world.
Personally, I think everybody goes to the same place.
Oh, I go to be absent from the body, to be present with the Lord.
I believe that there's two paths. It's either hell or heaven, and this is your choice. This is your one chance that you have, and that's it.
I mean, if you have a relationship with Christ, I believe you'll go to heaven. If not, I believe that hell's a real place, and that's where you go if you don't have a relationship with it.